Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another economic capsule with a very relevant topic, which is seniors shape the future in Puerto Rico, also in many other countries, but we are focusing here on what is happening in the island. The first graph that I'm depicting for you is the annual growth rates of the population of Puerto Rico between decades. So for instance, between 1960 and 1970, population growth in Puerto Rico was annually 1.5%. By 2000, it was 1.0%. And then 2010, that census surprised all of Puerto Rico, saying that population was declining. And as you see there with the forecast that the oversight management, fiscal management and oversight PROMESA board is depicting, we are having negative rates of growth, annual rates of growth, and by 2052, the total impact of this is that Puerto Rico could have 2.48 million people, compared with 2000 when it had 3.8 million people. So almost 1.5 million people are no longer going to be in Puerto Rico if these forecasts continue, and that has different consequences, not only in terms of income taxes, property taxes, sales and use tax, services, consumption patterns, and health conditions. This next graph depicts for you that although the population is declining, we are having a population pyramid that has evolving also in terms of age groups. So this graph depicts for you three different pyramids. The first one is in 1950, the traditional one, where each of those steps are age groups. So the first age group at the bottom of that pyramid is the age group of 0 to 4. Men are on the left-hand side and women on the right-hand side. And as you can see there, by 2000, it was already becoming a rectangle. And that was the year that Puerto Rico got 3.8 million people. But notice by 2022, now we have almost the outlining of the increased vertical inverted pyramid, where you have less people at the bottom of the pyramid with 0 to 4 years of age, and notice 80 to 84 and plus, it's higher, especially in women who last longer. So this has enormous ramifications, because the group of 60 plus is the one that in 2022 accounted for 30% of the population. That's a hefty number. The next graph depicts that not only is declining the population, but also the age group that is rising is the elderly population, and that we are living longer. This is 1902, when Puerto Rico's life expectancy was 30 years of age. By 2050, which I know we are already hitting that. By 2023, it's about 80 years of age, and women have a higher expectancy rate than men. And also impacting all of this transformation and evolution in demographic trends is this next graph, which depicts for you the composition of families as percentage of households. So the traditional family was the husband, the wife, and the children under one roof. Well, now there are more people living combined, but they are not in a traditional family as defined in the census. So in 1990, there were 84% of the households were families, traditional families. But now by 2021, it went down to 63%. That's a 19% decline. And this evolution is different in terms of its vision of life, in terms of its dependency, how they treat their seniors or their families, and that has, again, consequences for this age group of 60 plus. The next graph is that these seniors are living below the poverty level. True, it is not as high as in 1990, depicted in this graph, with 57%. That's a 65-year and older group. By 2020, it's 38%. It's almost 40% of that population is below poverty level, and that has enormous ramifications. The next one is, not only are they living longer, it's an elderly population that is rising, but they also are living under poverty level, but they are also living alone. And this next graph depicts for you that in 2010, that age group of 65 plus had 23% of the households. They were living alone in that age bracket. By 2021, it had risen to 26%, and that continues rising because they live longer, and now they are poorer, and they no longer are even the owners of their own homes. And that loneliness, the health conditions, all that combines with the economic adverse conditions and mental health conditions are really impacting this population. As you see this in this graph, in the group 18 to 25, past in 2021, that percentage with any serious mental illness was about 58% in the United States. We don't have the statistics for Puerto Rico, but we can almost extrapolate that the same trends are taking place in the island. By the group 26 to 49, 67%, and that group of 50 plus, 71%. So there's a correlation. The older you are, the more serious mental disorders are taking place. And something that Puerto Rico should be very aware, because it is a hot topic in Congress regarding the fiscal deficit that they face and the public debt default that they may be facing, is that in one of these entitlements, that's Social Security and Medicare, Puerto Rico is receiving more than it is paying. It's receiving more, which is that purple line, which in 1980 used to be like $1.1 billion. By 2021, it's $16.4 billion. And the orange line that you see in this graph, it's that from $669 million that Puerto Rico paid Social Security as well as Medicare, it's now $2.6 billion. That gap is enormous. It's about $14 billion gap. You know what's going to happen? They're going to start cutting this. And with a declining population, but an elderly population that is growing, living alone, living below poverty level, and with health conditions that are extreme, it's certainly the shaping of the future is by the seniors in Puerto Rico. If you liked this capsule, don't forget to subscribe to Puerto Rico, to the Voice of Puerto Rico, the voice of Heidie Calero, and this is a service of the Puerto Rico Economic Pulse. And if you like our capsules, give us a like, and don't forget that the economy is all of us. Thank you.